What is a person, if not the sum of their stories? The memories others hold of you, the signature on documents, the echo of your name in a loved one's mouth. We think our identity is solid, a fortress. It's not. It's a story, and stories can be erased. My name is, let me think. It's getting harder. They call me Patient 7 in the long-term care facility. But I wasn't always here. I came from a world of bright lights and louder lies. I worked for a man named Julian Ashworth. You might know the name. Tech visionary, philanthropist, the man who gave the world Nexus. What the world doesn't know is that Nexus was born in a dusty garage, not from Julian's mind, but from the mind of his college roommate, a quiet genius named Leo Vartan. And the first, as Julian's head of PR, was the chief architect of the lie. This is the legend of the Name Eater, and the horrifying truth that to steal a name is to condemn a soul to oblivion. Julian didn't just steal Leo's code. He performed a perfect surgical identity extraction. He used his charm, his family's money, and my ruthless PR machine to systematically erase Leo from the narrative. We buried his contributions under non-disclosure agreements and legal threats. We planted stories of Leo's instability. When Leo tried to speak out, we used our media contacts to paint him as a bitter, delusional ex-associate. We didn't just take his invention. We took his credit, the right to his own story. We made him a ghost in his own life. The first sign something was wrong wasn't a sound, but a silence. A specific silence. At a launch party for Nexus's 10th anniversary, a journalist asked Julian about the early rumored co-founder. Julian gave his practiced, pitying smile. A talented contributor, but the vision was always mine. As he said the word mine, a pocket of utter silence opened in the room. Just for a second, the music, the chatter, the clinking glasses all gone, replaced by a vacuum that felt like a physical pull on my eardrums. In that silence, I saw him. A man in a perfectly tailored, charcoal gray suit, standing by the grand piano. He was too tall, too still. He held a sleek, vintage leather briefcase. And he was looking directly at Leo Vartan, who had, against all odds, been allowed in as a courtesy. That was the Name Eater. He didn't look monstrous. He looked like an auditor, a funeral director. His face was a smooth, blank oval of polished pearl, featureless save for a small, dark quill-like protrusion where a mouth might be. His eyes were the real horror. They weren't eyes, but the shimmering, shifting surfaces of two high-resolution LCD screens, scrolling with endless lines of names in a tiny, elegant font, names that appeared and then dissolved into static. He was a walking database of the erased. Leo saw him too. I watched the color drain from his face. He mouthed a word that was swallowed by the returning noise. No, the attacks didn't start with violence. They started with erasure. The next day, Leo called me, his voice frantic. My driver's license. It's blank. The name field is just empty. I dismissed it as a prank, a glitch. But then his bank card stopped working. His name vanished from the lease of his apartment. His email address bounced back as user not found. The digital world, the world we had weaponized against him, was now eating him from the inside out. Julian just laughed. Good. Saves us on the hush money. But then the erasure became physical. A mutual friend from college, when asked about Leo, got a confused look. Leo? The name sounds familiar, but I can't place a face. His own mother, when he visited her, looked at him with polite, heartbreaking confusion. You seem like a nice young man, but do I know you? We were watching a man be unwritten from reality. The Name Eater began appearing more frequently, always in the periphery, in the reflection of a skyscraper window, in the dark corner of a parking garage. His briefcase would be open, and he'd be examining a card, a birth certificate, a diploma that was slowly fading to blank. He was auditing Leo's existence and finding it deficient. The final confrontation happened at the Nexus headquarters. Leo, in a last desperate act, had gotten past security to confront Julian in his pentifice. I was there. "You took everything?" Leo screamed, not angry anymore, just terrified and hollow. "My work, my credit, my life." Julian smirked. "I didn't take anything, Leo. I improved upon it. You were just a resource, a component. Components don't get names." At that moment, the lights flickered and died. The emergency lights cast long, stark shadows. And the Name Eater was simply there, standing between them. He didn't walk in. He rendered into the space, a glitch in reality made flesh. He turned his screen face towards Julian first. The name scrolling across his eyes accelerated. He opened his briefcase. Inside weren't papers, but what looked like shards of glass or ice, each one containing a faint, ghostly image of face, a signature. He selected one. It was the original proof-of-concept document for Nexus, with Leo's signature bright and clear and Julian's absent. The Name Eater held it up. The quill on his face twitched. Julian's smirk vanished. "What is this? Who are you?" "I am the curator of the forgotten," a voice said, not from the creature, but from the air itself, a dry digital whisper synthesized from 1,000 lost voices. "You have filed a name under obsolete. I am here to process the archive." The Name Eater pointed the shard at Julian. Julian's mouth opened in a silent scream. I watched as something intangible but essential was pulled from him. Not his soul, but his claim. His name, Julian Ashworth, began to detach from his identity. You could see it like a fading label. People in the office who had worshipped him suddenly looked at him with blank confusion. His personal assistant gasped, "Sir? Who are you?" But the creature wasn't done. It had come for the primary debt, the stolen name. He turned to Leo. Leo was crying, resigned. The Name Eater reached into the briefcase and produced a blank, shimmering card. He extended the dark quill towards Leo's forehead. This was the consumption. He was going to formally file Leo away, to absorb his name into the library of the lost forever. Something in me, some last shred of the person I was before I became Julian's ghostwriter, snapped. I threw myself between them. "No!" I shouted at the creature. "His name is Leo Vartan. He created Nexus. I helped bury it. I have the proof." I fumbled with my phone, pulling up a hidden encrypted cloud folder. Images of early schematics, time-stamped emails, the real history. I thrust the glowing screen towards the Name Eater's flickering eyes. The creature paused. The scrolling names halted. Its screen eyes reflected the evidence on my phone. It processed. The quill retracted slightly. It looked from my evidence to Leo's fading form, to Julian, who was now frantically trying to tell security his name, but only guttural, meaningless sounds came out. The Name Eater made a decision. It took the shard with Leo's signature, and with a touch of its quill, transferred the fading name of Julian Ashworth onto it, right over Leo's. It was a cosmic correction, a reassignment of credit in the ledger of reality. Then it turned its blank face to me. I felt a cold, scanning sensation. It saw my complicity. It saw my guilt. It saw that I had come forward. It did not take my name. It did something worse. It edited. It reached out and touched my temple with a cold, glassy finger. I didn't forget who I was. I forgot what I was. My skills, my career, my knowledge of PR and media manipulation, all gone, wiped clean. The intricate web of lies I'd woven became a fog. I was left as a blank slate, a person with a name but no story, no past expertise. A living, breathing cautionary tale. Julian is in the same facility as me. He doesn't know his name. He just babbles about stock prices and legacy. Leo Vartan is now the recognized founder of Nexus. He doesn't remember the struggle, the erasure. His memory has been corrected. To him, it always happened that way. But I remember it all. The name eater is real. He is the archivist of identity. He comes for those who steal not just ideas, but the very narratives of others. He doesn't kill, he refiles. So before you take credit for another's work, before you whisper a lie to undermine someone's reputation, ask yourself, are you prepared to be edited? Are you prepared to become a footnote? Or worse, a blank page? Your name is the title of your story. Make sure you're the one who wrote it. I post this from a terminal with the help of a nurse. My name is, it's on the tip of my tongue. But the lesson is etched in my empty mind forever. Share this. Let my emptiness be your warning.